Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick, and sometimes when I consume too much Mountain Dew, I am known as the Orbital Alliance.
And I am still just Tan, also known as Chasing the Milk.
Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. This is a podcast where we explore space, astronomy, and how the universe looks through the eyes of humankind.
When we look up at the stars, all of us may see the same thing, but each of us receives it in a personal way. This idea is what we call the galactic window, and by sharing these special views into our galaxy, we are inspired to keep exploring the night sky.
There's something to learn in every single episode, and we'd love to invite you to be a part of the community that we have here. And we are excited to share in your perspective. So be sure to tell us what your perspective on space is in the chat or in the comment section below.
Yep. So as always, grab a drink and a snack, and let's peer through the galactic window together.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You guys, it's a new week, new episode, and we're excited to be here. What's up, Tan?
How's it going, man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. I'm feeling the yellow nectar of the gods flowing through my veins, coursing through me. I feel superhuman right now.
I love it.
Mountain Dew at its finest.
I've got me in Alani, and it's 9 o'clock at night. So if you guys hear us just speaking really fast for no reason later on, you now know why.
Yep. This is us, we're going to be like the Incredible Hulk by the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
Man, welcome in, everyone. Man, we got a nice crowd. We got 18 people over here. We got some people over on the TikTok. Welcome in, everyone.
Yeah.
Let me get a quick hello. We got Ginger, Cosmic Voice, Tiffy, Tanzanite. Man, a lot of the OGs. Welcome in, B World. Hello, everyone. Alex, right.
Yeah, it's always a good time having everyone here in the live chat, which is, I think, one of the coolest parts of the show is that we're not just a pre-recorded message. This is a community engagement, where we can all come together and share our thoughts and just get excited about the topics of space and astronomy, not just between, which direction are you? Me and Tan. You switch sides this week. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
But not just between us, but between us and the entire world, the entire planet Earth. And that includes you, whoever is watching, whenever you're watching. Pretty cool thing. So let's get to it for this week's show.
The comments are already crazy. We haven't even started yet.
This one thing is I can always count on this lot to just take it to the ultimate level, the nth level of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Well, why don't we get started? Maybe we can, Nick. Maybe we can talk a little bit about just briefly touch up on our season 3 launch. This is our 61st episode. We just launched season 3 last week. We had a really awesome guest, Ryan from Sleeping at Last. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely please check it out. It's a really, really wholesome interview, and I am just so grateful that we had someone like Ryan on our show. So definitely check it out. But yeah, we hope you guys liked the new look. Let us know in the chat if you like our new intro, our new background, our music even. This is like our official song. Before, Nick and I were just like scrapping stock music to have on our intro videos. And now we have our own personal, Nick, we have our own personal song, our outro and intro video. So a lot of new things, new show, same space nerds here, but yeah, let us know what you guys think so far.
Yeah, we like making changes, we like tweaking stuff, and we're always tweaking stuff. I even tweaked some stuff from last week to this week that many of you probably will have no idea happened, but I noticed it, and it's better, and I feel better about it. So perfectionist at work here.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffy in the chat saying she missed the intro. Play it again. Do it. You won't.
Too funny.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's just for the replay. You just gotta hit the replay right after.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know how it goes.
Yep.
So you guys, we don't have a guest tonight, of course, but Tan and I have quite a few very interesting space and astronomy topics queued up for all of you, and we're excited to share them with you. And most of them are applicable to you. Like you can use them or to sort of inform you about your everyday life and how you interact with space, which we kind of talked about right at the top of the show, which is what the whole point of the galactic window is about. It's about helping you create your own galactic window, this view into the galaxy, into the universe, into the cosmos that only you get to see. It's your version of it, and it's gonna be different from the person next to you. It's different from the person down the street. It's different from the person in the chat here. But that's what's cool, and then we can all come together and share those things. So we've got a whole list of fun stuff to talk about. So without further ado, let's start sharing, Tan.
Let's do it. So we're going to talk about things in the night sky this month. There is so much happening. And I think we should start with one of my favorite things, and that is the meteor showers. So yeah, let's talk about the Taurid meteor shower. This is kind of something that's already happened. We have the northern and southern Taurid meteor shower. The southern meteor shower just peaked on the 6th, but we have one coming up. And honestly, I would say just even like between like first week to second week of November is going to be the best time to watch the meteor shower. I just got back from a really gnarly drive from Colorado, and man, I seen a few really nice meteors just while driving east. So make sure you guys go out and look. It's a really good chance that you can catch some fireballs, and that's what the Taurids are known for. Just big old juicy fireballs.
Dude, yes. It's, you know what's cool is just the other day, I think I saw one myself, because I was out driving, and I don't want to give a spoiler about what's been going on, but I mean, I was out trying to capture a little bit of a different event, and I just caught of the glance of my eye, like in the upper corner, I saw a fireball just while driving, which is already hard to do while you're driving because there's reflections, there's headlights, there's street lights, and there's all kinds of things that obscure your ability to see the night sky, because typically you just want as dark of a opportunity as possible. But I caught one, and I hit my dash cam button to record it, and I still need to go back and find out if my car caught it on video. It was a gnarly fireball, so it must have been a Taurid, and I had no idea. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely go out. The 5th to the 12th is traditionally the best time to catch them. We do have a pretty big moon right now, but don't let it discourage you. Like, Taurids are known for those slow meteors. So you might see a nice little green streaker there. And as the moon wanes, we've got last quarter coming up. As it gets smaller, you'll probably see a lot more. And that being said, we got another meteor shower. We have the Comets coming up too. Yeah, basically, I mean, I would say this month is kind of like, we got 2 meteor showers happening. So towards the 17th and 18th, I would go out and look up as well. Look up towards Leo. We're going to have a lot less of a moon. So you're going to have so much to see. And yeah, y'all, meteor showers are so great. Go out and look up. And there's a good chance that you're going to see some really cool stuff.
You guys, reminder that meteor showers are basically nature's free fireworks shows. You don't need to pay admission or anything. You don't need to go find a parking spot. Your parking spot is wherever you can see an open and unobscured night sky. And I think Tan and I would both mutually agree that it is way more exciting than a fireworks show.
Yep, it's free.
It's free.
Just go out, look up, try to get to somewhere dark if you can. But the biggest thing is just simply going out and letting your eyes adjust to the night sky. This doesn't mean doom scrolling on TikTok while you're looking for stars. I mean, go out. It's probably going to be chilly, but if you are up for a show, bundle up, grab some hot tea or hot cocoa, go out and look towards the constellation of Taurus and Leo. And there's a good chance that you'll be able to see some meteors.
And if you have no idea how to find Taurus or Leo, download a free astronomy app that can show you which cardinal directions to start facing in order to find those constellations. They'll give you a really good starting point and get facing the right way.
And let me know in the chat too if you guys have seen any meteors lately. Like I said, man, they're Taurids are really nice, and I've seen quite a few while just driving home. So I can't imagine how many I would have seen if I had just pulled over during that like 13-hour drive and just looked up. In hindsight, I wish I had, but I was also just trying to get home as soon as possible.
You were speeding faster than a meteor.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Daniel mentioned the Geminids here. Yeah, arguably one of the best shows of the year. That happens in December.
Spoiler alert.
December 11th, 12th, and 13th are probably the best times to watch it. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah. Perseids, Geminids, right? Top two, maybe. What's like the third most reputable meteor shower every year? If you had to pick three.
Um, I would
Perseids
probably
is
say the
obvious.
Orionids.
Yeah.
Orionids are we just had those and those were really awesome. But honestly, some of the best footage that I have of meteor showers are actually during the Taurids.
Mm,
So
dang.
yeah, it's I'd say it's a hard pick between the Orionids and Taurids here. Robert loves meteor showers. The darkest sky is my favorite sight. You and I both, my friend.
It's
Love it.
a party in the sky.
Yep, exactly.
There are a lot of phenomenons maybe we could classify as a party in the sky now that I think about it.
Joey saw an epic meteor last night. Sweet, man. Hope you made a wish. Hope you
Yes.
made a wish. Also, just a really quick side note. I see a bunch of people on TikTok. I can't see your guys' comments, so if you do want to hang out, you'll have to come over to YouTube. It's way cooler over here, especially for the podcast. So just know if you are commenting on TikTok, Nick and I can't see it because you guys are over here. All right. So yeah, just a quick little disclaimer there. But thanks for hanging out.
Oh, we could
Wired man.
Oh my god. Just rage.
All right. So what else is happening? We got meteor showers, we got so many things. Nick, what else is going on in the night sky?
Yeah. Well, let's be clear here. I think the common an average person tends to misconstrue or confuse comets and meteors. And that's
Ooh.
probably the ultimate transition there as we're going to start talking about comets. Because a lot of times I think some people will be excited to come tell me because I might be I'm the resident space nerd in their life. They're like, Nick, I saw a comet. I'm like, oh, that's great. And they're like, it was so fast. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think you saw a meteor. You know? Comets are actually something that do not move quite like a meteor. But this has actually been such an exciting autumn, or I guess technically, what is it, spring for the southern hemisphere?
Yeah.
But an autumn for the northern hemisphere here. We have three different comets that have been visible to some degree, but in particular, Comet Lemon has been in the news. That's been a huge one, and I'm going to show an image here really quick. This is Comet Lemon. This is one I took a couple of weeks ago. It's been putting on a nice show after sundown, and it is starting to move on, I believe. So here's a close-up. If you missed it, this is just a simple picture out of my mirrorless camera. It's not tracked or anything like that. So there are plenty of incredible photographers out there who took pictures far more beautiful than this. You know, people who have proper telescopes and tracking equipment that can catch more detail in the tail, make it a sharper image. This is far from satisfactory, but it's something.
Beautiful.
And Comet Lemon was gorgeous. I think it's still there, but it's maybe not as bright as it was. Also Comet Swan, which was a little bit more of like a ball shape. I don't think it had as much of prominent of a tail, if I'm correct.
That's right.
I don't have an image of that one because I did not capture it, but it was there. And I think with binoculars or a telescope, it's something that you could experience for yourself. And then additionally, this is Tan's favorite, Comet 3i Atlas. It was also in the vicinity of our solar system. We got an image here as well. There we go. This is what we have seen of it. This is also the comet that we believe to be, extraterrestrial, so to speak, interstellar object from a different star system, an icy, snowy, dirty snowball from somewhere else, causing quite the stir in the community. But it is still a comet, and kind of rounds out the trifecta of comets to see. So let's kind of go back to the top here. Comets are going to appear as basically stationary objects in the sky. They are moving, and if you stay there, in one position long enough, you'll notice that they kind of drift through the sky, over the course of several days. But unlike meteors, which are instances, comets are much slower. So, fun fact if you missed it. But it's been a really exciting season because I feel like we had such a quiet run for comets for, I don't know, what, like a decade or so. We had a couple of instances in the 2000s. I think Comet McNaught was a huge one. Then we had Comet Holmes that exploded in 2008. I think that one was. It was like it blew up. I remember seeing that through binoculars. But it wasn't until 2020 when we had Neowise. Last year we had Suchinshan Atlas. There was maybe a one or two others in the mix. Absolutely beautiful, but it's been comet season. And I know it might appear a little underwhelming if you go outside trying to see this huge, beautiful streak in the sky, but just a few basic optics can make a huge difference. And maybe the next time a comet comes through the sky that is prominent, borrow somebody's binoculars that maybe you have a grandfather who does bird watching, or a friend who's got a spare camera with a big lens or something, and you can just set it up and boost the exposure and get a good look at it. That's kind of how these comets were, but they're there and they're exciting and they've been cool to see and image.
Yeah. Since we mentioned Atlas, I just want to touch up on Atlas real quick. Just because it's such a hot talking point. So let's just really briefly touch on Comet Atlas. I am not like your resident comet person, so we're not going to do a deep dive, but I kind of just want to give you an update because you guys are probably wondering, like, what's going on with Comet Atlas. So as of now, November 10th, it's still in the constellation of Virgo. It's rising a little bit low just in the dawn in the east to southeast. It's around magnitude 12 to 13, so like it's not super bright, but it's more faint, at least for visual observation, right? So if you're trying to see it, probably not. It's over 300 million kilometers away. And as far as visibility, like, can we see it? If there is a realistic window, all right, it's going to be towards like December. So later on in the next month, probably. Again, I don't want to overpromise. I don't want to say like, yeah, we can absolutely see it. I don't know, but if there is a chance, it's going to be in that window. So keep your eyes peeled. And I don't know. I think everyone, especially all the astronomers here, are kind of just watching closely. So who knows? We might get lucky. Comets are really unpredictable, and this one is a very special one. But we don't know. We don't know.
Let's give a very elementary description of comet. Probably should have done this up top, and I was just thinking, let's explain it for the folks who maybe have no idea what a comet is, just to be clear. So comets are basically remnants from the formation of our star system. So as elements began to settle, the star, our sun, formed, and then there's all these planetesimals, is what they're called. They're rocks and ice and objects that are debris that are left over from the formation of our star. Many of them become condensed and become planets, but the remainder, there's these leftover icy chunks that are just stuck orbiting the sun. They have really oblong and irregular orbital periods, and sometimes they kind of come and go. All of them are different; they're not uniform. But a comet is basically an icy, rocky mixture. Can be a big or a small object, and they're floating around. And every now and then they swing by closer to the inner solar system, and the solar wind affects it, and you can see it melting away the material, the ice, and the elements that are on that particular comet. And that's what the tail is. So the nucleus of the comet is kind of the rocky, icy snowball, and then the tail is what comes off of it. And then there's usually sort of a glow, like an ionized glow that comes off of it, which is known as the coma. And as it passes around the sun, it swings back out, usually into the far outer reaches of the solar system. That's what we get to see. And that's what these pictures were that we showed you. I'll just pull it up one more time for your reference. But that little glowing green orb in the middle is the nucleus of the comet, with the coma, that glowing orb, and then the tail drifting behind it, which is the solar wind blowing the material out into space behind it, which ties into what we were talking about earlier with meteor showers. The meteor showers just left over dust and debris from past comets, and the Earth is just passing through those dust trails left over from comets. So it's all tied together, right, Tan? It's just a cool little story being told right in front of our faces.
No, you did such a good job of explaining it, and I'm glad you cleared it up, because sometimes people will say, "Oh, I saw a comet last night," when they're referring to a meteor shower, or I'm sorry, a meteor. But yeah, they are very closely tied, and they're just so beautiful. Maybe one of my mods can correct me, but I think Comet Atlas is moving around like 300,000 miles per hour, and just trying to even fathom like what that's like in my head is uh, pretty crazy. But yeah, like Nick said, meteors are basically remnants or little dust trails from comets. So if you're kind of picturing yourself like driving on the highway, right? You're going 70 to 80 miles per hour, and all the bugs are hitting your windshield. That's basically what's happening. But so the car is like Earth, and we are just going right through that debris stream. And yeah, it it happens every year for the most part. We have these annual shows, and it's so cool.
I love it. It's the cosmic windshield. That's the discount podcast version of our podcast. The cosmic windshield.
Love it. Our show is like 5 minutes long, and we just talk about one thing.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
Season 4, the cosmic windshield.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna upgrade. Oh geez. Oh yeah, but it's so cool. Lots of good questions in your chat. Appreciate our mods coming in and supporting, answering those questions.
W mods.
You guys are providing such beautiful answers, and we appreciate that. Shout out to the mods in the chat. Everybody, if you're watching, show them some love for sure. Oh gosh. Well, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so much.
There is so much. Gosh, so you guys, there's also been quite a bit of activity coming from our star.
Oh, tell me more.
I know, right? Do tell.
What's going on, man?
So, if you are unaware, our sun has an energy cycle, so to speak, and it kind of comes and goes. I believe it's like every 11 years it completes one of the cycles, or it's at least one of the arcs. I might need some correction on that, but there's a solar maximum, and then there's a solar minimum, and it takes years to complete that parabola. But the sun has been at the peak of the solar maximum, rising up, where basically its magnetic field is twisting so tightly that it kind of unwinds and it snaps back, and the poles reverse magnetically on the sun. And I don't know when and if that's happened or happening. I haven't been paying close enough attention, but I do know that it is a regular occurrence. It's nothing to be scared of. It's not anything that's going to be like dangerous. It's been happening forever, whether you know it or
rapture.
Not. Yeah, right. Like literally, it's a super normal thing. It's kind of like asking you, "Hey, do you recognize that your heart is beating?" Of course it is. You're alive. Like it's the same thing for the sun. But being at solar maximum means that there's a lot more activity on the surface of the sun through flares and CMEs, or coronal mass ejections, all these burps essentially of solar material out into space. And what's exciting about that, when there's more of that activity, is it sends a lot of that ejecta, the weird stuff, like all straight towards planet Earth. And if we get lucky, let's be clear. And if it does, it interacts with our atmosphere in a really beautiful way. And that's how we see Aurora in the night sky, those northern lights or southern lights. And so I guess Aurora Borealis for us in the north, and Aurora Australis in the south. And that's kind of, again, how everything kind of ties together. Same solar wind that creates a tail on a comet also creates aurora for us here. It ionizes our atmosphere, makes it glow, and it looks super pretty. So we're still kind of coming out of the peak of the solar maximum, which means there's actually been quite a bit of activity. And recently we had an amazing flare happen. I think it was a day or so ago here.
We did.
Here is
All my
a
Aurora friends were blowing my phone up like, "Yo, go outside right now." And I was working. I couldn't do it.
right. So here's an image of the sun, of a graphic of the sun, and you see all these little dark spots with numbers on them. Those are sunspots, which are cooler regions on the sun, typically where there's kind of like a hole, and that big one right up in the middle center, like upper middle, is a sunspot that was created from an X 1.8 class flare that just recently happened, and it was Earth facing, which is really optimistic for potential aurora shows here on Earth. Now, there's a lot. I just said a lot, and everyone, if you don't know what I'm talking about, are probably like, "What the heck does that all that mumbo jumbo mean?" So, when the sun burps, we give it a rating about how good the burp was. And you get to give it a rating. We basically give it a letter and a number, and the classes are class A, B, C, M, and X being kind of the most powerful. This was a weak X class flare, so an X 1.8. So basically, I think they give it a letter and then a number of 1 through 9. So it kind of, once it passes 9, I think, and then it goes into the next class. And this was a lower X class one, so pretty big. It was facing us, which it plays a huge factor. If the sun burps slightly off into a different direction, we won't get any of that solar wind hitting us. But this one is a strong possibility of us interacting with us, which means in the next day or two, I think, there's a chance for some higher aurora activity than usual. But we did have an aurora show just last week, just a couple of days ago. Gosh, what was that? Like Wednesday, I think.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think it was Wednesday. Lower latitudes, as far south as Wisconsin, I think we're seeing, and even maybe some of northern Illinois to some degree. We're getting some aurora shows, which is great, and that's kind of been a consistent theme recently. And it's been a great time to be a night sky watcher. But just keep your eyes out for the news, over the next couple of days, because if this X class flare impacts Earth, could be a really great show. You could see something with your unaided eye, and you will never forget seeing aurora. You really won't. So very, very worth it.
Yeah. To kind of go back a little bit, are you basically saying the sun's got to burp at us in order for us to see aurora?
It's a really good clarifier. Let me take a swig real quick.
Yeah, big shout out to Tanzanite for the sticker for the supers. Thank you so much. Real quick, I still see a crap ton of people over on TikTok. Just a reminder that I can't see any of your comments at all over on TikTok. So if you guys are typing, and you're like, why are they ignoring us? We can't see your chat. Like you're over here. We are streaming over on YouTube. So if you do want to engage in the chat, please come over here. It's way more fun, at least just for the podcast. So just want a quick reminder to you guys. And again, thank you so much, Tanzanite, for the super.
Yes, thank you so much, Tans.
Yeah, and let me know if you guys saw any aurora. A few of my friends sent me some photos. Let me know if you guys were in like the mid to northern latitudes, and you caught any photos.
Remind me of the question you just asked me, Tan. I'm sorry, I got distracted with
yeah.
water.
You're basically saying like the coronal mass ejection, like basically burps. In order for us to have a chance of seeing northern lights, it has to face us. So my question was essentially, are you saying like the sun has to burp at us for us to see it?
So yes and no.
Okay.
There's always a solar wind being emitted from the sun. That's always constantly interacting with us and our magnetosphere and our atmosphere. Those solar burps, so to speak, are what give us those like really beautiful shows that reach more of planet Earth. There's always some level of aurora happening, and it's just a matter of the degree, the quantity, the impact, the brightness, and the reach of it. So basically, when these big burps happen, it increases the odds that more people get to see it, and that it's much more of an active show and a brighter show. But it's not a guarantee by any means. Sometimes it can graze the Earth. It can just go right past it and miss us. But those direct hits are really really cool things, and it's just like May of 2024 when we had that G5 storm, which is basically the biggest kind of storm you can get. I think all 50 United states got to see it, which is unheard of. So when you get those impacts, it's a marvel for sure. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful this one will give us something to see. I would like to go out and do some more photography and just to see it. Because once we start going into solar minimum over the next couple of years, these kinds of things you have to travel to go see it. If you live at lower latitudes, like mainland US, you need to travel up into Canada, or travel over to like Finland or Sweden and get up into Scandinavia or Iceland, where you can just see it where it normally is. But it's just the impact that can increase,
Yeah. Thanks for explaining that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I was trying to think of something. Oh yeah. Apps to use to look out for auroras. I really like Space Weather Live. If you guys use a certain aurora app, just throw it in the comments here so we can help out other people. Tons of resources. But yeah, like the NOAA Aurora dashboard is a good one.
Yep. Space Weather Live is so fantastic. And I would say it's helpful, and it will take a little bit of learning to understand what some of the charts and things mean. But my best recommendation is to have that app, but also follow some of those pros who are out there who actually like really, really know how to interpret that data. And I'm saying this from like my own personal experience, because I had no clue how to interpret any of those charts that, those apps have. But when I spent some time with Justin Anderson, who you guys know as High Hopes Aurora, he was on episode 3 of the show. I met up with him last year and I went to Canada, and he gave me a tour. But that dude can read like crazy those charts, and he knows how, like, when the timing is happening and the intensity, and he knows how to interpret it. There's another guy, Vincent Ledvina. He's also great. I think he's out in Alaska, I think. Follow one of those guys, follow their tweets, their posts, on all the apps and in real time. And if you're anticipating a show, if it's in the news, trust the Aurora chasers first. They're going to be able to tell you, okay, now's the time. You got 30 minutes. Go out and check it out. Or this one's not worth it. Stay inside. Super helpful. But the apps they're fun to look at, and they are informative.
Yeah, absolutely. You can learn a lot. Like Nick said, there's a tiny bit of learning to do, but once you kind of like get it down, a lot of the metrics will kind of just make more sense. But it can be a little bit intimidating at first, but they do a very good job of kind of walking you through and holding your hand and explaining what each metric is. Yeah. Real quick, Nick, you mind answering this one? I just want to. We won't be able to answer all questions, but I really like this one. Nick, what was the first comet you remember seeing in person?
That's an awesome question. Thank you for asking that. I have an answer. So 1997, I was 7 years old, and I saw Comet Hale-Bopp for the first time. I remember being at a restaurant with my family, and whatever night it was, I couldn't tell you. I wasn't paying attention to the date. It must have been like the spring or something. But when we walked outside, and I remember going to the car, and I looked up, and with my naked eye, I could see this beautiful comet with basically two tails. It's kind of like this really bright glow right in the sky. And I remember just being a little kid and absolutely like awestruck. I couldn't fathom what I was looking at, and I was like, "What is that?" And my parents were like, "It's a comet." Like, what? And this is the most memorable part of that experience. Was I remember being in the car driving home, just glued to the window, looking up at it and following it all the way home, just trying to like, where'd it go? I can't stop looking at it. So I guess my comet experience begins 28 years ago, or whatever the math is, 27, 28 years ago. Pretty cool. So thanks for asking that question. It's one of my favorite stories, for sure.
Yeah. 97 was the best year, they say.
And you can look up, Google Hale-Bopp, BOPP, HALE-BOPP, Hale-Bopp, named after 2 astronomers who discovered it. And if you look up, you can see pictures. People, of course, have taken pictures of it. But you got to remember, the 90s were basically the final years of the pre-digital age, the analog age. So A lot of the pictures that people took of Comet Hale Bopp were probably taken on film. Maybe there was some like CCD cameras or like, digital sensors capturing pictures of it then. But just add that little extra layer to your perspective as you look up photos of that comet, because that was sort of the maybe it's a prehistoric age of astrophotography, imaging the night sky on film. It's a totally different art than what Tan and I do, and what many people in the chat here do, or people on the internet. It's unbelievably accessible right now. You can do astrophotography on your phone. We all have phones in our pockets, like, for the most part. And but if you put a roll of film in front of me, I would not be able to. I understand the concept, I do not know how to execute it properly. So add a little extra dose of appreciation for those photographers who imaged Hale Bopp and got it right, because they had to guess, capture, and then probably wait days or weeks before they could develop that film, depending on their situation, and then be like, wow, I got a shot that documented history. Now it's like, we can take a shot. Boom. Got it wrong. And then keep doing that over and over until you get it right. That's basically how I do my astrophotography.
Yeah, we're definitely spoiled now with the technology that we have at our fingertips. And I just want to mention, this comet stayed bright for over 18 months, which is absolutely insane. So just, I know if I was doing what I do now at the time, I probably would be taking an 18-month vacation. I kid you not, or at least a more realistic version of whatever that would look like. I would travel so much to see this thing. So big shout out to everyone in the chat. If you get a chance to see it, let us know. But very cool. I'm super jealous you saw that. For me, my Hale Bopp was Comet Neowise in 2020. So not as cool, but for me, it was life changing.
Oh, dude, it was equally as cool.
Yeah.
Neowise was spectacular.
Yep.
Man.
So we got so much to cover. I'm thinking about just lightly touching up on some of the some other stuff here. Nick, is there anything you want to add to the comment before we move on?
No, keep it going. Move that train down the line, brother.
Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about some of the planets that are visible right now. So this isn't I wouldn't say that this is anything like super remarkable, but if you guys are curious and maybe you would like to see some cool stuff in the night skies, now's a good chance. So yeah, we have Saturn. Saturn is just an absolute breathtaking planet to look at. If you have a telescope, this is going to be one of those things that you absolutely have to point at. Even if you have one of those like cheaper telescopes, if anyone in the chat's listening and you're like, man, I got an $80 to $100 telescope that I got from Barnes and Nobles or Target or something. Can I see Saturn? Absolutely. It might be a little bit difficult, but even with binoculars, you can make out a lot of the planets and sometimes the moon. But Saturn is going to be pretty high in the sky just after sunset. Really, really easy to find. Jupiter as well. I would say both Saturn and Jupiter are arguably one of the best planets to see right now. Jupiter is going to be pretty high in the sky, and it's surprisingly, it's often mistaken for like an alien or something just because it's so bright. So whenever you look up and you're like, whoa, what is that super bright thing that's just like, it looks like it's not moving? It's most likely the planet Jupiter. Or it could be Venus if you're getting up really early in the morning, or you're just staying up really late. Venus is brighter than both Saturn and Jupiter. Venus is really, really, really bright, brightest thing in the sky. And moving on to like Mercury. Mercury is really, really cool, but it is so hard to see just because it usually has a really small window that you can see it. But right now it's going to be really low on the southeast, and it's going to be best between like, I'd say first week of December as like the pre-dawn hours. It's usually really close to the sun, so you're going to have to catch it before that morning glow comes up. But there is a possible chance that you can see it. And then lastly, we have two other fun things for you guys if you are interested in just finding stuff in the sky. We have Sirius, which is a really, really bright star in Canis Minor. And then we have, of course, the beautiful Andromeda Galaxy overhead. It's going to be pretty like high in the sky. And this is something you can see naked eye if you are somewhere dark. So you don't have to be in the middle of the desert, but you can't be like in the middle of New York City or LA. It's going to be, I'd say, impossible to really, really difficult. But if you are in the suburban skies or somewhere really remote, Andromeda is really easy to spot. So yeah, just wanted to make note of these. This isn't anything like super crazy, but just something fun for you guys if you are kind of wanting to challenge yourself or maybe find something cool in the night skies. I would say Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus are going to be the easiest things to spot, and then Sirius too. And then if you want a challenge, you can try the Andromeda Galaxy with binoculars and Mercury as well.
Dude, that's like a stellar charcuterie board.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Got a variety pack here.
Yeah. That's so cool. There's something
Yeah.
for everybody.
That's right. There's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Dang. Well, speaking of something, there was a supermoon this past week. Should we talk about that?
Ooh, yeah. It was a what was it called, Nick?
It was called a super beaver moon.
What?
Which
What in the world? That's crazy.
Ridiculous, but let's break that down and tell everybody what that means. So it was a super moon, which means that the moon was just slightly closer to planet Earth because its orbit around us is not a perfect circle. It's a little bit off center, a little oblong, and every now and then it comes back at that. It shifts a little bit, and it means the moon's at the closest point to Earth. So it appears larger, and I believe in this scenario it was 14% larger than a typical moon. Or is it then the opposite when it says furthest? It was a 14% larger viewing experience, which made it for a very bright moon. So if you were outside at any point in the last couple of days, you probably saw how bright it was, and we're like, "What the heck is going on?"
That's so weird. Yeah.
Shout out in the chat if you saw this moon. But of course, there are some clever names. I think they have native origins. Tan, maybe you know a little bit more about it, but this particular one was the beaver moon, which it's the moon for November, right? Full moon.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The November full moon. So you've probably heard of the harvest moon. What's the other one? Was it wolf moon? And there's a bunch.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. So this was the beaver one. So combine these events, the particular November moon, and then this super moon event, you get the super beaver moon. So one thing I do know is that Tan caught some sweet images and video of it. So let's feature that right now.
Yeah, and let me know in the chat if you guys caught any photos, or maybe if you even got to take a peek at it because it was so cool. If you guys know me, or maybe if you don't know me, I'm absolutely obsessed with the moon, especially whenever it's rising and setting around the full moon phase. And the reason why is just because it looks so cool. So I'm gonna pull up this this moon here. This was from my hotel view in Denver. I was out here for a week just hanging out, and just super grateful that I can just like look outside and have this. So I actually set up my mini telescope just right by the bed there, and had the tripod there. So it was really funny. But yeah, these are just a few shots that I took. And again, man, I love whenever you have a little bit of foreground. In this case, we have some mountains, and you can kind of like see like the layers. I just we don't really have mountains where I am back here in Missouri, but I really like this one. I don't know, just something about it sinking in. It looks like a little egg yolk.
Yeah, dude. It's peeking its head over the horizon.
Yeah, really cool. And then lastly, I just want to share with you guys a time lapse that I took with my Dwarf 3 smart telescope. So this was the actual day of the full moon here, and I was at the Red Rocks amphitheater, and I went up there, and there's two other gentlemen that already had their telescopes out. So I went up there, and I already knew what was going on, but just so incredible. And at first I was kind of worried because there was like a thin layer of clouds, and sometimes it works out. It gives it this nice little moody effect, and you can even see some of the distortion while it's going up. You can see like the clouds almost like refracting and bending some of that light, which is why the moon looks kind of weird at the top there.
Yeah. It looks like You know what it looks like? It looks like the tracking when you're watching an old VHS tape.
Yeah, yeah.
Scanning on the like a CRT screen with a VCR, and it's like tracking, and it's all like
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer that a raw shot with no obstruction is infinitely more boring than what you capture there. Yours is way more exciting. There's parallax, there's something interesting to it. It adds texture and mood 100%. So
Mood.
what?
Never mind, that was a bad joke. You said mood, and I was trying to tie in
moon?
moon with mood.
Yeah.
Mood. Never mind.
Yeah, dude, it's a sick shot, man. Well done.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Thank you. Yeah, let me know in the chat if you guys got to see a moon. If you're over on TikTok, I think you can post photos now, so feel free to share some of your moon photos in the chat or the comment section. But yeah, it was a incredible experience, and I'm looking forward to next month's moon, which I also believe it's the third super moon of the year. So we're gonna have just 3 back to back to back.
I would say this: if you're new to stargazing at all and you just have no clue where to start, I mean, the moon, of course, is perhaps the most basic and easiest and most accessible thing to watch, and to seasoned viewers of the night sky, I would say this: like, never underestimate the power, majesty, and beauty of the moon, even though it's might be the easiest thing to look at or to image, right? Like, it is always jaw-dropping, like, no matter what. And I think it is so worth making the time for. So don't dismiss the moon when you're considering something to look at, or when you go outside. If you walk past it, if you're pulling the trash bins out and the moon's out, like, stop and look at the moon. No matter who you are, it is just so freaking cool. And I don't think anybody should miss it. So when Tan said, like, I'm looking forward to next month's moon, who says that? And I mean that in the best way possible, because it's like, Tan is right. Like, everybody should be looking forward to the next moon. It should be this huge anticipatory event, because it is so freaking cool. It's always there. It will always be there while humans still exist. And it puts on spectacular shows in the coolest way. And again, it's free. You don't need to pay a single thing to see something so cool right in your own front yard or backyard, wherever you're looking, right out your window of your hotel in Colorado. The moon's there for you. So, gosh, that's okay. I'm rant over.
Nick's just trying to figure out who's a real lunatic here. So yeah, go out and see the moon, y'all.
Lunatic.
Richard Jones asked if I signed concerts while I was out there. No, it was tempting. There was a Dead concert out there at Red Rocks, and I just keep on hearing, how I need to go to a concert out there. But maybe next time.
All right.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
More things. Let's breeze through this, man. There's so much to share with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, so Tan, I think I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that you have a hot take.
Oh yeah, I do have a hot take. This is where I want you guys to engage, and we're gonna try to read as many comments as we can, and we're gonna breeze through it. Again, if you're over on TikTok, I can't see your comments, unfortunately, so you will have to come over to YouTube. Just type in the Galactic Window Space Podcast, and you'll see us streaming. Here's the hot take. Daylight savings time, the fact that it gets really dark at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, I kind of like it. Now, hear me out before you guys come at me and try to cancel me. Why? Why do you like it that you have like 10 hours of daylight or whatever that is? Well, for me, or at least for astro people, amateur astronomers, I just feel like I have more dark skies. There was a time where if I wanted to go out and take some photos or do some telescope viewings, sometimes that would require waiting till like 9, 10, 11 p.m., sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning to even see the Milky Way. So by the time I'm done, I'm like, man, it's 5 in the morning. I'm tired. But now I can get my astronomical observations done. I can take photos of the milk. I can do so many cool things and be done by 9 p.m. How cool is that? So that's my take. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the daylights? Do you like it getting darker? How about Nick? Let's start with you. How do you feel?
Yeah, I can see both sides, but dude, I think you may have just sold me on it because here's my measurement, my metric for it is the sun can go down at 4:20 p.m. where I live, and then I can do my astronomy or my imaging, get to see all these cool things, and then still make it inside in time with enough time left in the day for me to watch Interstellar from beginning to end, and it's still the same day.
Mm,
So there you go. That's the ultimate advantage, the ultimate metric to be in favor of ending daylight saving time and having the sun set at a ridiculous hour. So maybe
yeah,
that's my silver lining.
that's fair. It looks like the overwhelming majority of the chat is saying no. I just want to stop changing my clocks. I mean, I feel you. I would say, if I'm being super honest, it is kind of weird to just have it be dark at like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, man, where did the day go? Now I only have a very short window to get my vitamin D. So for me, it's kind of it. I don't know, maybe 50-50. There are times where I appreciate it, but for everyone that's kind of like, oh, seasonal depression, I get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. Kayla says keep daylight time instead of standard time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's the play for sure.
Yeah. I forgot some places do this. In Arizona, we don't change our clocks.
Mhm.
Uh, how do we sign up for that?
Yeah.
How
Move
do
to
we how
Arizona.
do we order that on the menu?
Yeah. Yep.
Arizona does it right. Yeah, that's cool. I forgot that's a thing.
Yep.
Don't let 10 gaslight you about daylight savings time. It's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe one last thing here. I love this here, especially working 12 hours. Go to work dark and get out of work dark. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a very big thing that I keep on seeing.
Oh, man. It's an interesting topic, and wild that it's, kind of in the potential zone for changing. It's been this same way for as long as we've been alive, and many of our parents and the generation before us. So to know that maybe it's on the table to see a change is quite interesting. So um but I think most of us would agree generally, like, let's just pick one and stick to it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, pretty cool. Um Well, let's talk a little bit about something different because there's been some pretty interesting news in the spaceflight realm, and I'd be happy to share with you guys just a little bit of what's going on. Give you a little bit of a news update. So, many of the major rocket manufacturers who are creating these vehicles for orbit have been advancing the current status of their frontline flagship rockets. But let's start with Blue Origin first. So this is the company that was started by Amazon's Jeff Bezos. They've been launching their rockets, which have been suborbital, like the New Shepard rocket. But they named their rockets after famous astronauts. So the New Shepard is named after Alan Shepard, and the current orbital level rocket that they're developing, New Glenn, is named after John Glenn, from the early NASA era back in the 60s. So New Glenn did a successful test flight recently, not like recently, I think it was earlier this year. I think it was. Gosh, I'm already forgetting when that exactly was. But the second test flight is coming up. It was supposed to launch, I think, a few days ago, but they scrubbed it due to weather. But I'm going to pull up a picture here so you guys can see New Glenn on the launch stand. Here it is, Blue Origin. And of course, the name Blue Origin referring to planet Earth being the blue planet, and it's the origin of humanity. It's the origin story. It began here. So a lot of references there, but beautiful rocket. And I believe
Mhm.
the payload is a test payload it's going to Mars, I think, which is really, really
Ooh.
ambitious. I think that's what I read about it. I need to double check myself, but either way, big news, big opportunity, and a huge swing for the fences by Jeff Bezos. So that's coming down the pipe.
W Blue Origin.
I think they're anticipating a launch window on November 12th. So 2 days from now. Pay attention to the Blue Origin news. Um, in other exciting rocket news, SpaceX, the direct competitor in the private sector, of rockets has been developing Starship. We've talked a lot about Starship on the show. They've been doing, I think they just finished test flight 11. I think 12 is coming up very soon within the next few weeks. And it is going to be under development in the future on mass production. So this is gonna be one of those rockets that can, send like 100 people at a time in one rocket, but it's going to be the vehicle that takes people to the moon and Mars and cargo and equipment to beyond Earth orbit. And they announced that they're going to be doing what's called a gigabay, which is super cool. So they have the high bays right now down in Starbase, Texas, which are basically the giant buildings where they construct these Starship prototypes as they're developing the rocket. But they announced they're going to be doing gigabay to speed up the production of Starship. And they say here, you can see in this graphic from their SpaceX stream, that these gigabays are eventually going to ramp up to a production level of 1,000 Starships per year, which is
hold on, 1,000 Starships a year?
Yes. And keep in mind the original launch, or one of the original videos they put out for Starship was that this could also replace, airplane travel just locally around planet Earth. You could get from like Shanghai to New York in like 30 minutes, or whatever it was, using a
That's
Starship.
insane.
Mm-hmm. So they're not just thinking about creating fleets to go to Mars. It's like, hey, what about Earth here? What about business people who need to get from one country to the other for their companies? You could do it. So that's really exciting news. SpaceX is announcing that. Obviously, that's something way down the line, but they're moving quickly. And last thing on the spaceflight front, NASA. Where's NASA? Right? It's like, let's talk about the government sector. They have been developing the rocket for Artemis 2, which is the next rocket in the moon mission series here.
Yeah, let's go.
Artemis is the sequel to Apollo. So if you remember Apollo from the 60s and 70s, Artemis is currently happening right now. Artemis 1 happened, was that 2021 or 2022? It's been a couple of years now. I think it was 2022. But Artemis 2 is right. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Artemis 2 is going to be taking humans around the moon and back to Earth. They're not going to be landing. But that rocket, I believe, just finished stacking in the VAB at Kennedy Space Center. So here's an image from NASA. So the SLS rocket, the Space Launch System rocket.
It's beautiful, man.
It is beautiful. It's like special. It's like an optimized space shuttle. Big orange fuel tank, solid rocket boosters on the side. And it's going to be, I think, launching in the spring at the earliest of next year. A little bit delayed from where they originally anticipated, but the crew has been training for years, carrying 4 people around the moon and back, which is going to be the first time that we have taken humans beyond low Earth orbit, since 1972. And they'll be going at a trajectory that's going to take humans the furthest out away from Earth ever. So that is going to be this rocket that is currently in existence. It's there.
That's exciting, man. I just remember how exciting it was the first time Artemis was around, and I think everyone was kind of on the toes. And RJ mentioned here so many delays. Yeah, I just remember just getting so excited and then immediately kind of just bummed. But that's kind of the nature of how things go. We just got to make sure that every single dot is like all our T's are crossed, everything is just lined up perfectly, because it is it's not something that you can just let's just see if it works. Like we need to know for sure if it works. We have to. So yeah, delays can suck, but at the same time, we just hope that everything is going to be how it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my final thought on all these things is obviously Blue Origin, SpaceX, NASA, a smattering of other launch providers. It's easy to look at all of them as competitors and maybe even enemies, depending on what pool you're a part of. I would say ignore all that nonsense. It's easy to tap into some of that sway, but the way I see this is it's awesome to see new opportunities for space flight and to celebrate every single one of them that's coming down the line. And the fact that we got 3 major rockets coming up, doing really cool things and kind of pushing the frontier forward is incredible. So just remind yourself to get excited about we're going back to the moon next year. Like, that's real. That is happening. And most people don't know about it. So share it with your neighbors. Make sure they know about Artemis, and that's going to be a thing. Share it with your kids so they can tell their friends at school. Make it a reality and increase the level of wonder as we go into this next chapter of human spaceflight. It's a cool thing.
Well said. I to keep it short, I just feel like we've kind of lost that excitement for space. And maybe it's due to so many other things happening, but yeah, there was. I feel like there were once upon a time, people were truly excited about space and space exploration, and what that looks like through the lens of like humankind and stuff. And somewhere down the road, we just stopped. So yeah, this is going to be a really cool thing, and crossing my fingers along with probably everyone else who's excited about this and keeping it on the radar that it doesn't get delayed for another year or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So cross your fingers, keep it on your radar, and let's hope we get back to the moon. And who knows, Nick? Maybe we'll end up there too somehow. We'll fill out the influencer package, and maybe our ticket will only cost like $200K, and
Mhm.
we can round up some money to go and do a podcast up there.
Let's do live episode from Shackleton Crater, the South Pole of the moon.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm in. I'm in.
Oh, cool. All right, dude.
Do it.
What do you say? Let's land this plane.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Guys, it's been a super fun episode. This is a lot of dense information. Like, seriously, I don't know how many topics we covered with all of you, but I wish it never ended. I want to keep going. This is fantastic. It's like a nerd's dream here to just talk about space, celestial objects, and happenings in the night sky. Could go on forever. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Same here. If you guys remember some of our episodes in season 1 and 2, I think our longest episode was like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this is kind of something that's new in season 3 for those of you guys that are listening, where we're trying to keep it around an hour. And I think it's a good spot. And mainly it's just we wanted to try something new, and we just felt like an hour is good. It's like watching a show. So if you guys are watching or binging some Netflix or Apple or Disney or whatever it is, generally it's around an hour. So we want to respect your time, or we want to respect our time, and we want to just try something new. So let us know what you guys think about our new runtime. It doesn't mean that we're always going to be exactly at 1 hour. Sometimes it might be less. Sometimes we might make an exception and go a little bit further. But for the most part, I think this is our sweet spot. And we're only 2 episodes in, but I'm really digging it.
Yeah, me too, man. It feels really good. All that to be said, just a reminder, whether you're new or you've been around forever, we appreciate everyone watching and listening to the show. You can catch new episodes here every Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, right on YouTube. And the replays are available as soon as the stream ends. So if you popped in late, you can watch the part that you missed right away, which is super cool. Also, just know that the podcast also has an audio-only version. So it's the same show that you hear and watch here on YouTube, but gets replayed with audio only, and you can find those on your favorite platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, all the cool things. So just know that is another way to enjoy the show if that's your preference. We also want to make you aware too that your support is appreciated, and that looks in like a lot of different ways. Just watching the show is a fantastic way to support us. It helps keep us going, keeps us energized, and makes everything more fun. We have more of you watching, and that's totally free. But if you want to take it to the next level, you guys can become a member of the channel, and that is basically a subscription, a monthly subscription. Currently, the tier that's available you can find on YouTube is $4.99 on desktop, and I think is it $6.99 on mobile. It's like a little bit more expensive. They adapt the price. We just learned that last week. So just to be clear, the prices are different. So if you want to subscribe for cheaper, become a member, do it on a desktop. Go to your laptop, go to your computer, and you can do it. I think it's $4.99 there. That's the price we set it at. And that will help us cover the subscription fees to keep the show alive. This is something we do for fun. This is not our career, you know, so it's hugely appreciated to have that support financially to just help us stay functioning. If you don't want to do a recurring subscription, you can just do a super thanks or a super sticker, which you can do in the chat right here, or a thanks on the video after the fact, after the stream is over. And that's just a one-time gift, if you so choose. None of it's required, but it is all appreciated, you know. So, and a huge shout out to those of you who are dropping a few of them in here tonight, which is fantastic. Tiffy dropping in a $10 super right now, as you can see on the screen. Thanks so much, Tiffy.
Tiff, you rock. Yeah. You rock. Yeah. Like Nick said, one of the best ways you guys can support us, honestly, just coming and hanging out. If you guys are over on the tube, over on the talk, please come over here on tube and subscribe to us. The Galactic Window Space Podcast. We do live streams every Monday night at 9 p.m. So it's a consistent, concrete schedule. If you ever miss us over on TikTok, like, man, I wish Tan or Nick was streaming. Well, just know that you can always find us every Monday night, 9 p.m. And if you don't really care for watching and you want to listen, we're on all major audio platforms. So appreciate everyone that's hanging out, all the chat here. There's so much that we had to sift through, but we appreciate you guys over on TikTok as well. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate our awesome moderators. You guys are the best. And I think that's it. I think that's all I got for now.
That's right. So yeah, I'm gonna second that. Show all of our mods some love in the chat. Give them some big hearts. We appreciate everybody who supports us by being a mod. So many. Fantastic. And I also want to give an extra special thank you to our friend Oliver Dodge for making music for us. That's the intro and the outro of the show. So he is making our season 3 much more unique experience. So we're grateful for him too. So show Oliver Dodge some love. Follow him on social media and listen to his music. It's epic. So good.
Very nice. Do it. Okay, one last thing. If you guys haven't done so, please, if you can, like this episode, like any episode that you watch. Sometimes we just jump in here and, after the stream ends, we kind of just go on and do our thing. But just know that literally just clicking that like button helps significantly, like way more than you know. So at the end of the stream, just go to your page or just do it now. Just click that button. And if you haven't, of course, subscribe so you guys can see more. And that's it. I promise. I'm going to hang up the phone.
And we're done. Yep. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you. We hope you learned something about space and astronomy. And we will see you next week right here on YouTube. See you all on the other side.